Hello again. In this series we're making low poly stylized stones, and in this episode we're looking at retopology. We'll be using the decimate modifier again, and I'll be going through a few more tips and tricks and just giving general advice on how to prepare this for baking and give us the best results so we can get as close to the original mesh as possible with as lower polys as possible. With this stone I managed to get it down to 250 faces. Okay, so I've got my rock and I need to retopologize it. So let's go back to object mode and let's name this rock high poly or HP, and I'm going to duplicate it with Shift D and call this one rock low poly or LP. Now because this is a static object and not animated, I'm going to use the decimate modifier again. It's fairly close that I could use just a beveled cube almost, as long as it's stuck closely to the sides, but you can see the silhouette still has a few ridges in, which I would like to keep, things like there, and these spaces around here. So that's why I'm using the decimate modifier. So add modifier, decimate. You can click and drag this, but I know it's going to be around 0.01, and that's still 5,000 faces, which is way too high. So let's try 0.003, and I want to get this quite low really if I can. So it's still 1,000 faces. So let's change that to a 1, 0.001. You can still see that it's keeping the shape, which is good, but it is still 500 faces. So I'm going to go even lower than that. It's going to have to go another 0.5, so 0.0005. See what that looks like. And we're starting to lose the shape a touch, but we're just there, I think. It's still 250 faces. We'll bring that down a bit with our retopology skills. But you can see it sort of sticking out in areas like this. We might end up losing our beveled shape, so I need to go up a bit to make sure that it keeps in line with that beveled edge. So I'll go back to 0, whatever it was. In fact, let's try 8 there. Just a bit higher. I'd like to keep the bevels if I can. Yep, so generally we're a bit closer. I'll just hide the high poly and see what that looks like. I just want to make sure we've kept the bevels around the edges. And we have. It's much easier to take away than it is to add with the next stage of snapping. I think I'm just going to go a touch higher. I'm going to go back to 0.001 just so I've got something to play with. So it is still 500 faces if I remember, and let's apply that. Then let's go into edit mode, and all these flat areas we can remove as much topology as possible, and some of these areas in here as well we can probably get rid of a fair bit. So once again we turn snapping on. We go to vertex mode, and that means that it's going to snap to the closest vertex. So when I grab a vertices and pull it to another one, it snaps. But I need to turn this one on as well, which is automatically merge. So grab and merge them together. This one as well. So there's areas like this where there was a dent, but you can't really see the dent from the silhouette. So we can make that nice and flat by grabbing our vertices and pulling them over, like so. This area too, we can make flat. So I can pull this one down to here because I still want to keep that little groove there, but I'm probably going to bring this one down to here. We don't need this one in the middle there. We can pull that down. So it's just a case of pulling these together in order to create the flat surfaces and reduce the polys as much as possible. Be careful when you do that. It happens quite a lot. So make sure you watch out and you have actually snapped because it's snapping to the ones behind. This area we can't really see, but we can see the corner there. So from about here, we need to merge. So let's try pulling all these together. Can be a bit tricky when you've got areas like this with big dents in. Sometimes you need to go into wireframe mode to sort of pick out those vertices and pull them in. And I've done it again, so watch out for that. So just pulling all these about, whoop, and watching out for doing that sort of thing. There's a tiny dent there, but I don't think that's going to be a problem, so I'm going to get rid of that one. That just comes with a bit of experience, knowing what you can get away with. And it does depend on how close you're going to see these rocks. I'm imagining they're going to be just building blocks for different ruins. That's my plan. This one might be interesting. It's got a big divot there, but I can probably just bring this one to here, I think, without too much hassle. I can certainly get rid of all these bits here. There seems to be one hidden in there. I do need that, so I've got to be a bit careful of this one. I probably need to fix this slightly. If I bring this out here a bit, that should be okay, I think. This one's a bit messy. It's quite a deep groove, this one, because that's my big area that I've collapsed. So I need to tidy that up a fair bit. You can use handy things like Alt-B in edit mode, and then you can only see those areas. That can be quite helpful. So I can go down the bottom here and just tidy these up. And remember to use the full stop key on the numpad to help you. Occasionally you might need to go in and delete a face and then sort of restructure an area. So into face mode, delete the faces, and then select 2 edges and press F to fill the face again. And that will give you a triangle or a quad, depending on whether the edges are touching or not. But we're not too worried about triangles at this stage. Of course, this bit is taking a fair bit of time. It depends how detailed you want to go and how much you want to reduce your polys. If you need to move it without snapping, you can press G and then Control, and that turns snapping off. And then left click before you let Control go. Alt-B, of course, to bring back your mesh. That's not looking too untidy now. Occasionally you might want to bring back your high poly shape just to see how far out you are. Obviously bits like this don't matter because they'll be in the normal map, but the silhouette is all important. So areas like this and this, which seem to be all okay at the moment. Let's turn that off again. And let's see how many faces we are. So I've got 320 roughly. Be nice to get that a touch further down. You see this one, if I bring this down here, that's just a bit too much. I'm losing all this information up here, so I can't really move that one, I don't think. Again, it depends all on how far you want to reduce the detail and how close you're going to be to this object in your game. I feel like it's getting there now. Just a quick run around. We've managed to get it down to 250 faces. I think that's pretty reasonable now. Let's just quickly check with the high poly. Make sure we've kept those areas around the silhouette. It looks pretty good. So there we have it, our retopologized stone. 250 faces is pretty good. So the key things to take away are that keep your silhouette. Where there's any bumps or divots, you can flatten those out as long as it doesn't affect that silhouette. In later series, we'll go through more complex retopology. In the next episode, we'll be reminding ourselves of baking and just quickly going through that process, and then after which we'll be painting.